So community is important for a company. What are the ways you're leveraging the community, and how to position community in this future success for a company in general?
As an open source company, the problem we're solving, first of all, it's a problem that is an engineering problem. It's a data engineering problem. And it's a problem where build is is more of a thing than buy. And open source is always there to make sure that you don't have to build. It's not there to make sure that you don't have to buy. It's like you don't have to build it. So at that point, and that's also where having being part of that audience is important as a founder, which is I've done it in the past. What kind of product would have want to take from a GitHub repo and put into my organization? And so at that point, it's just like talking to this, like figuring out who are like your initial members from your community, like, and I think you have to be intentional with how you build it, and make sure that you are very white glove. You really take feedbacks into account, and the more the community grows, after that, it's a snowball effect. Like the grow your there is a network effect behind building a community, and so that's uh, that's an important thing. And for our product, it's necessary to have a community because we are addressing a long tail of integrations. Right now, these integrations are being built by the members of our community within their companies. What we're giving them is a platform where they can build it and share the burden of the maintenance of these different connectors. So it's a very strong argument for a community based model at that point. And then it's just making sure that you continue to grow the community and you continue to give more to the community so that they stay engaged and they continue to use the product and contribute to it.
Incorporating community as a core part of how you as an organization serve your customers. There's a lot of really interesting dynamics. There's a couple things that really stood out to me. There's a huge investment going into like cultivating this ecosystem of support. But the other thing that really stood out to me was sort of the transparency that you have with the community for the direction of Airbyte, the business model of Airbyte, and how like the community fits within that. And I don't think I've seen like that type of transparency where it talks about like here's our direction and here's our strategy and here's how this all fits together. And then even I know you just rolled out like a participative model for members of the community to participate in like the tools that they're creating under Airbyte. Can you talk a little bit about like why those decisions of being transparent or involving the community as they contribute to solutions within the ecosystem that they're able to economically participate in that success? Like, can you tell us a little bit more about the thought process and why you designed some of the early parts of Airbyte like that?
I would say the first thing is we created a community from scratch. If you look at a lot of open source projects, often what happened is it was an open source project that was built within a larger organization. Like you can take Kafka, for example. It was built within LinkedIn, and they were able to build a community without having to build a company around it. We have to do both, which is we don't have a community. We need to build a company. We need to build a product. A community might be using Kafka because they know it's backed by LinkedIn. So that's an argument for them to join and to start using the product. With Airbyte, we don't have that luxury because we did not have that luxury when we started, which is we were still a very young startup. The product was starting to work, but it was not there yet. So transparency helps us showing to the community what we are doing and how we're thinking about things. So that even if we don't have it now, they know when we're going to have it and they know why we're going to have it and they know it inspires confidence and it's very important. So that is why we're so transparent. Also, I mean, when you're transparent, there is a lot of things you can say. You don't have to retain information. And I think that makes our life easier as well.